Hey everyone, it's Chris from Crafty Creations by CV. I'm jumping on quick today to do a pre-recorded video for you. I had posted a full body angel using my modified dress board that I originally designed for my wedding dresses and my dresses, and I was trying to figure out some different uses for them. So I came up with this angel, and hopefully you guys like it. The boards can be purchased at my website. I will put that in the link as well, but it's craftycreationsbycv.com. And it is basically a modified Unique in the Creek board. I had worked to design my wedding dress with Lori, the board itself, and she gave me permission to be able to modify it and sell those on my website. So I'll get right into it. It's been a little crazy for me. Exciting news is I got into my own little shop in my town in Wallingford, Connecticut. So I've been crazy with that. And like everybody else, we've been getting ready for craft fairs. 'Tis the season. So hopefully I'll get through this without any mistakes, and I'll be able to record this and then get it out to you guys so you guys can make your own angels. All right, let me switch to the overhead camera, and then we'll get right to it, guys. All right. Let me just bring this up here. All right, so here we go. So we're going to be doing the angel. This is the modified Unique in the Creek board. Okay, I put all the kind of the zip ties in it to show you. So basically what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to add a little bit more light our way. There we go. It's better. Add a little more light this way. All right, so okay, and the last thing we're going to do is add a hanger to it, because you're going to put your zip ties hanger for our head. You're going to have 6 on the bottom row, zip tie, which is row 10. All right, and we're going to go. You're going to have 5 on row 9. Where the bow is 5 on row 8, 4 on row 7. 3 on row 6, and then you're going to go down, and you could put this the hanger first on row 5. You add your bow is fine. You're going to have, I just almost forgot to tell you guys about that part. And then 1. This middle zip tie is going to be for something else, but you can put it in. Probably easier to put your hanger on first and then your bow. Then you're going to put zip ties. Then you don't have all this stuff here, kind of here, and here. I'm going to just take this little part out. And then you're going to have 4 on the top. Okay, so I kind of did those a different color, so maybe you could see them a little better. Okay, yeah, definitely easier. So that's how the setup right now is going to be for your zip ties. Okay, and I'll post a template on my website as well, so that you'll have that to be able to reference as well and print out. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside for the moment. What we're going to do. So the petal folds that we're going to use today are actually really easy. It's the same petal fold for my bow tie here. So for the bottom part of the angel, okay, just make sure we are going to be doing like an angel wing fold here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a 10.5 by 10.5 or 10 by 10, okay, depending on what type of mesh you use. I kind of use like more of a flowy mesh for this, and then you just kind of tuck those back in the same hole there, because it just seems more whimsical for the angel. So you're going to put it, you're in square, you're going to turn it, and there's your hanger. And you're just going to basically have your finished seamed edge up here on the left, finished seamed edge down here on the right. You're going to put your fingers on each of the corners, and you're going to give it a little tug, and that's going to give you your middle point. Okay, so you just bring your thumbs in. All right, just like that. You're going to take this bottom part, you're going to fold it to the middle. You're going to take this top part and fold it to the middle. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. You're just going to do a little scrunch right up the middle, just like that. And then you're going to flip it to your left, and you're going to kind of line up your points so that they match. And at this point, you can either use a little zip tie, or you can use an elastic. You're going to have about a 1-inch nub here, okay? And I'm just going to add an elastic to that. Okay, and that's basically going to be what our dress petals are going to look like. So we're going to need 30 of these all together for the bottom part of the angel. Okay, you can mix and match different colors. You can use all one color mesh. As I always say, make it your own however you want. So I'm going to do that again with the same color. Okay, so you have your square. I'm going to pull your corners here. It gives you your central point. You're going to take your 2 points and put them together. You're going to take this bottom and you're going to fold it to the middle. You're going to take your top and fold it to the middle. And then you're just going to scrunch up the middle and you're going to turn it to the left. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. You're going to create a little 1-inch nub up here. And you're going to take an elastic and just put it right around that nub part. Okay, just like that. Okay, so you'll have your kind of unfinished where your seam roll is here, and then this is going to be nice and smooth. You don't have any seams up top. So I chose for this dress, I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to mix it with this metallic red fabric mesh. All of this mesh I got from Unique in the Creek, and I will put the supplies in the comments as well so that you have the supplies, but you can really use any type of mesh that you want. So again, we're going to cut into our square 10.5 by 10.5 or 10 by 10, whatever type of mesh you're using. You're going to take your corners, you're pulling them to get your central point, and then you just kind of put your thumbs in, and you're going to do point to point in the middle. You're going to take your bottom edge, roll it up, top edge, roll it down. Okay, it looks like this. You're just scrunching up the middle. You're turning to the left like that. And we're creating our nub, and we're going to put an elastic on there. Just like that. And then we're going to do one more of those, and then we're going to go on to the wings. Okay. Again, point to point. That middle point there. Roll the bottom up to the middle, top down to the middle, scrunch, and turn. And again, you're going to do 30 of these, okay? So you could use 6 different colors and do 5 and 5, however you want to do it. Just know you need 30 for the bottom of the angel. Now for the wings, we're basically using the same petal. However, we're going to just put it together a little bit differently. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our 10.5 by 10.5, and we're going to do the same exact petal fold. This time, instead of scrunching in the middle, we're actually going to scrunch further to the right. So what I do is I have it on my mat. I'm going to measure about 10.5 inches, okay, 10.5, 11 inches, and that's where I'm going to scrunch, okay, and I'm just going to put a little clip there for the moment. All right, so it's not going to be in the center. I'm going to take another piece of mesh, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. The fold itself is not changing, okay? It's just how we're putting these together. And again, I'm not going to scrunch in the middle. I'm going to measure this out to about 10.5 and do my scrunch. Then what I'm going to do is take this and put it right up against my other petal here. Okay, so I'm going to make sure my points match up. I'm going to take my clip off, and this is now where I'm going to put a little zip tie. Okay, so I'm going to put my zip tie here, just slightly tight, and then I'm going to flip this over. Okay, I'm going to turn this so that that little nub of my zip tie is up on top here. And the reason why I do that is that when we go to put this onto the board, it's going to hold in place better and not pull out, especially because the wings are going sideways. Okay, so then I'm just going to clip that. And then I'm going to cut this edge off because we do not need this. Okay, so I'm just cutting that piece off right there. And this we can discard. Okay. So for each set of wing here, we're adding 2 petals to it. So we are going to need you to cut 16 of whatever mesh you're using for your angel wings. You need 10, I'm sorry, not 10, you need 16 pieces, okay? And then we're putting 2 in each bunch that we're going to do. So you're going to have 4 bunches on the left. You're going to have 4 bunches on the right, okay? So I'm going to put that aside, and we'll do that again. Oh, I got one of my little U-pins, hold on, stuck in my mesh here. Put that aside. Okay, so you have your square. We're going to fold it into that angel wing petal that we just did. Okay, and again, we're not scrunching in the middle. We're going to go about 10.5. And it doesn't have to be perfect because angel wings are not perfect. So if you have one a little bit longer, that is fine too. And you could do these any length you want. So if you want to make longer wings, then just scrunch more towards the right-hand side. About 10.5, or if you want them shorter, however you want to make them in length. Okay, so about there. And again, I'm going to put my zip tie, pull it just a little bit. I'm going to flip it and then just swing my zip tie around so that little nub is up on top here. And I'm going to clip that, and I'm going to cut that. So those are basically our petals, okay? So again, just a quick recap, you're going to have 30 of these type of petals, the angel wing type petals for your dress part, okay, for her dress. And then you're going to be cutting 16 of these 10 by 10 or 10.5 by 10.5 for the wings. And you're going to group them 2 into each bundle. So you will have 8 bundles all together, okay? The other thing that you're going to need for this project is bling rope, okay? This is going to be for her halo. So what I do is I cut a piece of this, and you will have plenty on the roll. And again, you can get this from Unique in the Creek. You're going to cut this at about 14 inches, okay? So you're just going to cut a piece of that, and then you have the rest of this to use for something else for another project, okay? You're also going to need a piece of floral wire, a little bit on the thicker side, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to actually, when you cut this bling rope, there's a little hole inside of here. We are going to feed this wire in. And the reason we do that is so that when we go to form our halo, the wire is going to allow us to bend this how we want it, okay? So what I do is I feed the wire in, and then I kind of just tie this down the bottom here, okay? And then I cut the end, and then I just turn that up a little bit, just like that. And we're going to be using hot glue and floral pins to connect this, okay? So I'm just trying to get all the prep work done for you guys, and then, you know, we could take the time to assemble it. So again, 14-inch cut the bling rope. You're going to feed a piece of floral wire that's a little bit on the thicker side through there, and then just twist the end, and we can put that aside for now. The next thing you're going to use is ribbon, okay? You're going to need 1.5-inch width ribbon. Again, whatever ribbon you choose is fine. Make that your own. You're going to need for the ribbon, you're going to cut you're going to cut 2 9-inch pieces of ribbon, okay? So you're going to do 2 of those, and then what you're going to do is we're actually going to glue these together. So we're going to overlap them just a little bit like that, and we're going to run hot glue down, okay? So I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm just putting just a little bit right down here. And then I'm going to take my other piece and just kind of lay it right on top. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of push it down like that. Okay, and we're going to just kind of put that aside. Right, so that's going to kind of dry. Your hot glue is going to dry. Put that aside for a moment. Okay, you're also going to cut a, let's see, I just want to make sure I have, looking at my cheat sheet over here. You're going to cut a 14 piece of the ribbon. Okay, this is going to be for our bow. You're going to take it, and we're just basically going to do an easy bow here. So you're going to take your hot glue and put it right on the edge of your ribbon. And then you're going to take the other piece of the ribbon there, and you're putting it right over top. Just be careful you don't burn your fingers. But you're basically just going to push that down just a little bit. And this is going to be for our bow. And I'm just going to let that sit for a minute so that can cool, cool down. And then you're also going to have 14-inch tails. So you can either cut two 14 inches or just cut a 28, which is what I did. Okay, so I have a 28-inch piece of ribbon. I have my 14-inch piece of ribbon. And then I have my two 9-inch pieces of ribbon that I glued together like that. Okay. This is actually going to be for the bib part of the top of the angel wings. So let me show you what we're going to do with this, and then we'll make our bow. You're basically going to just fold this in half, okay, just like that. And then you're going to scrunch right up the edge here. Just a little scrunch like that. And again, you can use an elastic, a zip tie, whatever your preference is, okay? So you're just scrunching the top after you fold it in half. And I'm just adding a zip tie to that. Easy peasy. And just clipping that, okay? So this we're just going to put aside for now. This is going to be, like I said, the bib part. And it's really just to cover up some of the zip ties and things like that on the board so we don't see them. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside with my halo. And now we're going to assemble the bow. So all you're going to do is take your 28-inch piece of ribbon, okay? You can fold it in half if you want, just to make sure that you get the midway point, and then reopen it. You're going to take the part that you glued, and you're going to stick that right down on the middle there, and then you're just going to push it down. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Let me get my mouse out of the way. Okay. And then all you're going to be doing is doing like a little accordion scrunch up the middle. Okay, I'm trying to get my hand out of the way so it looks like that. And you're going to take a pipe cleaner. Okay, and I'm just putting the pipe cleaner around it. And I'm going to do one twist. Okay, and then I'm basically going to take the pipe cleaner again and wrap it around the right side and wrap it around the left side. Oops. So you're going to take one, go around that side, and then you're going to take this, go around the other side. So you're going to do the opposite way. And it's just giving it a little bit more width in here. If you want to go around again, you can. I just basically do one on each side of that middle one I did. And again, just take your ribbon and twist it. Okay, so that is basically the bow for your angel. And then you just make sure that it's even. Okay, so you can kind of look at it. If you have to adjust it, you can move this right to left if you need to. Okay, and that's just making sure that your loops are kind of even on each side. And then you just kind of bring down your tails like that. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll dovetail our ends, and then we'll be able to curl it when we actually put it on our angel. So I'm just going to do a little dovetail where you just fold the edges together, you line them up, and then you do a quick cut from the folded edge to the top there. All right, so that's what your dovetail looks like. All right, so there is our bow. I'm going to put this aside. Okay, so we've prepped our mesh, we've prepped our ribbon, we've prepped our halo. The last thing we need to prep is the angel's head. Okay, so what you're going to do is I used a 5-inch round styrofoam ball, and I just cut it in half. So you'll have a flat end, and then you'll have the curved end up top. What I did was I have this little dowel thing for my bow maker, but you can use anything, a pencil. You want to make a hole in the top, not too close to the edge, but kind of right on the top here. And you're just going to push down a little bit. Okay, and just kind of push and twist. All right, so you're not that far in. Okay, probably, I don't know if you could see the hole on the camera. Then what you're going to do, okay, so you want it down far enough, you're going to take your dowel again and go in through the back so that it meets up with that hole. So if you could see inside there, the dowel's going through. Okay, so we have it this way and this way. And then you'll have a little piece of styrofoam in there that I just kind of pull out. You could stick something in there and just take that out. Okay, so there's your little piece of styrofoam. So you have your hole. Do this here. What you're going to do is you're going to take some nautical rope. Okay, you can use any color you want. You can use, I think they call it macrame. I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologize. But you can use that type of cording. You're just going to take and you're going to feed it down into your hole. Okay, so you'll see it in there. And then what I do is just take my little clippers here, little pull things, and you're going to pull this through. Okay, there we go. Oh, hold on. I don't like the way that did that. Hold on. I'm just going to cut this a little bit. Kind of got it all twisted up on us here. I'm going to stick that down in there. I'm just kind of give it a little turn. It'll kind of keep it all together for you. And then I'm basically just pulling it through like that. Okay. There we go. And you don't need a lot back here, just a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of hot glue. Okay. Make sure you use something like the silicone fingertips here so you don't burn your fingers. And you're just going to hold that down. Okay. Just like that. And I did one of these already, so you won't have to watch me do the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you how it was started. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put a little dab of hot glue down into the hole here. And then just around the side. And what we're going to be doing is basically just wrapping this around. So you're going to kind of hold a piece of it down. And then you're just going to kind of wrap it around like that. Okay. And I just kind of give this a moment to cool off so the glue hardens so that when you go to pull it, it's not just spinning it on you. It's actually holding in place. Okay. So then what you do is you just put a little bit of hot glue. Okay. And then you're just basically wrapping the rope. Okay. Just like that. And then you're going to put some on the back here. And this is just going to keep wrapping around. So basically we're going to do this all the way down. So you're going to add some glue, pull your rope, and I kind of do back and front, and then it kind of makes it go a little bit easier instead of just trying to get the glue and go all the way around. I tried that and I kept burning my fingers, so this seemed to work pretty good. And you don't need a lot of glue, it's just enough to kind of hold it in place. And again, you're just kind of going right around the little edges there, right underneath where the existing rope was. Okay, so you see how it's just going, and I just give it a little push because you have flat on the back and it's rounded on the front. So sometimes on the back, you just got to kind of push it into the back a little bit. And then we're just going to add the glue. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep doing this until we get all the way down and around. I'm going to end it here because I'll show you the finished one. And then I'll just use this for another project. I'm going to put this aside for the moment. So this is what you're going to have, okay, when you finish. All right. So this is where we started up top, and you can see, so this is going to be flattened down the bottom, and then you have a little bit of like a little cone up here. So that'll be the top of the head, and this will be the flat part for the body. Okay. So that is basically all you're going to do for the angel's head. And then you're going to need some more rope that we're going to be putting around the waist area. Okay. So it took me 2 packets of the nautical rope for this at Dollar Tree. And then I have another packet. So I would say if you have 3 packets of the nautical rope from Dollar Tree, you should be fine for this project. All right, so I'm going to put all this stuff aside, and we can actually start assembling our board, which I put down, and now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. All right. So here is our board. So what we're going to do is start assembling. We're going to start on our bottom row. And I'm going to start, you can make any pattern you want. I'm just going to start with a red. And what I do is, I hate when there's like little stuff. You're going to take where your good side, okay, where there's no edges or seams, is going to face up. And I'm going to put this on my first one to the left here on row 10. And I just turn sideways because it's just easier for me to be able to do the zip ties. So usually whatever I put on this outer, I'm going to put on the other side as well, so that when you're looking at it, it gives you symmetry. Okay. So when I do my pattern, I'm just looking, okay, now we have 4 left in here. So if I do 2 greens, I could probably put a green one here, red, green, red. How do I want to do that? Let's put a green here. And then I'm going to put a green one here. And I'll put 2 reds in the middle. And like I said, you could do however you want to do this. You know me, I always say make it your own. However, there's no right or wrong. Okay, just like that. Let me get my zip tie gun over here. And then we're going to just take and clip our zip ties. And I apologize if I'm going too fast. I just really wanted to get this tutorial in case anybody wanted to order the boards to be able to make these for Christmas. And I will, if you do order the boards, I know I got a few orders in today. They go out pretty quick. They're ready to go out and ship. So if you do order from me, you know, it won't take weeks or anything to get the boards. All right, so on row 9, I'm going to start with a green this time. Okay. And again, I'm starting on that left-hand side. And then I'm going to put another one on the other side. And then we can figure out our middle. So we have 3 in the middle. So I'll probably do 2 red and a green. Just like that. These are so easy to make. Like anything, it's usually the prep work that takes the longest, but you're basically using the same petal for everything. So it makes it nice and easy. I would recommend wood burning your mesh because you will get a lot of the edges that do show. So it just helps to reduce the fraying. You don't have to. It just gives it a nice finished look. Okay. Especially on the angel wings. You don't want all little frays coming off of them. Okay, so now we're going up to row 8, and I'm going to do red again. And I'll put a red on the outside here. And then let's see, we have 3 again here. So let's do, we'll do a green. Red and then green. Kind of like that pattern. That looks cute. And then I'll put a green here. Just like that. And I got this idea. I did my angel wings, which I absolutely loved. And then I wanted to see if I could try to do a full body angel. And I watched a bunch of different tutorials. I think Michelle from Monkey's Creation did one on the triangle board. There is another woman, I forget her last name. I think her first name is Connie. She did one using, I believe, the triangle board, and then she cut the wing boards and attached them. So people have come up with different designs. So this is just my version that I wanted to do on my modified board, because not everybody wants to make wedding dresses or dresses. So I wanted to have it, you know, a multi-purpose use for it. So I came up with this, and I am loving it. I'm going to make a few of these for craft fairs that are coming up. I'm pretty sure they'll sell. All right, so I'm going to do my green. And then we have 2 here. So let's do 2 red in the middle here. Okay. And this is that metallic. It's like a metallic fabric mesh that Lori now sells. It's I really like it. It's got the nice vibrant color. And okay, we're getting there. So I'm going to do a red. And I'm going to do a green. Do another red. It's so cute. I haven't done a Christmas dress yet. I probably should do a Christmas dress too. I'm just going to move these out of the way here. All right, so now we're going to do a green. We're just about done with the bottom part of the dress. And then I'm going to do green on the outside. And then I'm going to do 2 reds in the middle. And then we'll be, now it's going to get a little confusing up here with all the zip ties. If you don't want to put those in, you don't have to at first, because I know now it looks like a big mess. But if you look on the back, it doesn't look as complicated when you look at the back. All right, we have 1 more petal. It's like, nope, a few more petals here. Let's see. Okay, so we got 3 more petals to put in. So I'm going to make these. I have all green left. So let's do 3 green. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Whoops. Let's hit my camera there. All right, so let's clip that, and then I'll turn it back the right way so you can kind of see. Okay, so this will be, turn it up here. So that's going to be the body of our angel. Okay, that's her little dress there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be wrapping, we're going to put, should I put that in? I may not put those in yet. I think what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to cut these out so that you can see them. And it might be easier actually when we wrap the rope around. So I'm going to actually cut these. I know it's a waste, but I have more. I just feel like it's a little bit too confusing up here when you're trying to teach it. I'm going to leave this one in because this one's not so bad. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our rope again, and we're going to be making the body part here. So it's going to kind of cinch it in for us, but also kind of give a separation between the body and the head. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just kind of turn this over. Okay. And I'm going to take a zip tie, and I'm going to just put it through this middle zip tie here where you have the 3. I'm just putting it through that middle zip tie, and I'm just putting my rope here. And I'm just going to zip tie that. We're also going to be gluing it, but it's just to start it off here. And it just kind of holds it in place for us. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to add glue right above, okay, where that zip tie is. You're just going to kind of do a row of glue, get a little bit on the edge so it'll keep on the edge for you, and then you're just going to hold it in place. Okay. And then we're going to bring this around. You want your jute rope to go over top, so it's going to hide these zip ties for you. Okay, so you're actually going to go on the other side of those zip ties. Okay, and then flip it. What I do is I add a little bit of glue on the corners here so that when I'm pulling the rope around, it's keeping it in place for me. Okay. And I'm going to do one more where I'm going above that zip tie because, like I said, I want to hide those. And then when I come back around, I kind of do a little crisscross so that it's going to come down here. I'm going to add some glue, and again, try to get like right at the edge. Okay, and I'm just going to hold this down for a moment here. And then we're going to bring it back around. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue here so that this kind of stays in place up against the other piece of rope. Because if you notice, if you pull too tight, you're actually going to create spaces in between these. So you kind of want to be able to keep it so you don't have any really gaps showing. And you can always add a little bit of glue if there's places that have a little gap. And again, you're just going to kind of put some glue here. Oops. And you're going to just hold that for a moment. And you're just trying to push them together as best as you can, so they'll stay in place till the glue sets. Okay, and again, I'm going to add some glue right against the other piece of rope here because you have a pretty big gap between the board and the rope because of those nubs. So then all you're going to do is just kind of push this right up against this. Just like that. So you're kind of adding it up against the other piece of rope there. And then I'm going to add a little bit on this corner down here on the board so that sticks. And we're only going to be going up to right below this zip tie because we're going to start, our wings are going to kind of start right in here. So it's not like you're going all the way up. So I'll probably go around one more time here, okay? So we're going to go on the back. I'm going to add some glue. So as you can see, it's really not hard to do. Perfect. And then this is going to be our last one. So I'm just going to add again up against where the rope is. I'm just adding some glue, and then I'm just kind of sticking this right up against it. Because if I pull it too tight, it's just going to make a gap. So if you kind of put this zip tie in here, that kind of is your stopping point, and you want to be able to see that hole, because then you know you're not up too far. So that's actually a good reference point. And then we're going to just bring this right around the back. So I'm going to make sure that's, like I said, you're just kind of pushing that up against the other piece of rope, and just give it a second, because you don't want to, if you go too fast and the glue's not set, it's just going to pull your rope everywhere on you. And then we're going to end up right in the back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off right about here. Okay. And then I'm just going to I'm going to put it right here. I'm just trying not to block those holes too much, because then I'm going to have to get my zip tie through there. So if you add glue and block the holes, it's going to be harder to get your zip tie through. So I'm kind of just going right up against that other piece of rope, so you can kind of still see the holes. So we'll be able to get a zip tie through there pretty easy. Let me just kind of push this against that. And if you use like a thinner rope, you won't have as big of a gap back here, but it doesn't look bad. And no one's really looking at the back of the board. All right. Okay, so that's what we have for our waist. So now basically we're going to do our wings. Okay, so here's what we have. So the fun part now is we need to feed our zip ties. And now we can put our zip ties in. So what you can do is, to make it easy, I don't know if there's a way to make it easy, but you got to kind of feed it down through the nautical rope. Okay, so maybe go in between a couple of them. And we need to kind of feel around for that hole. And this is where I just had a little bit of a challenge. It's like I can see the zip tie. And you get it through the hole, but then you got to feed it through the rope on the back. So you can either try to go underneath and then push it up through. You could find like a little gap in here. And that's why I think I kind of put them in beforehand. Okay, so see how that went up through? And then you can just pop the other one right through that hole. Okay, just like that. And then I would just do it just a little bit so you know where it's at. And don't go crazy, because we can always add a little bit of glue and glue those back together. So same thing, we're going to go down. And it's just, you can kind of feel where the hole is. There we go. So you could see that one came through the back, and then I'm just going to go back up through this hole here. So you can either go below, above, however to get them in. So you're going to take one of your wings, okay, and you're going to put it into this first hole. And what you're going to do is you're putting it above the rope, okay? So you have, that's why I said you don't want to go up all the way, because you'll have a little space here. You're going to fit that right down in there, okay? And then do your zip tie. Just like that, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing right above that, okay, in these outer two holes here. Okay, so you have that one. So we're going to put another one right up in here. And this is going to be close to that. So we just kind of put it right up against there. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. I'm going to feed this down in here. And you'll feel it once it kind of goes through. You'll feel it hit the board, then go through the hole, and then it's just a matter of feeding it through the rope. So my suggestion would be don't put too much glue with the rope, because then when you're trying to feed this through, you may get caught on the areas where the glue is. I'm going to try to go up through the back on this one. And like I said, you just got to kind of play around with it. That's the thing, is just kind of feeding it through the ropes there, so I can feel a little bit of glue there where I'm trying to get that zip tie through. So hopefully I didn't cover the hole. And then if you have to kind of move it a little bit, you can always just move the rope a little bit. But I think for me, I put some glue there, which is, I think, where I'm having the issue. So the glue, I think, covered the hole a little bit on me. But we will get it. There we go. Like I said, once you kind of feel it go through, it goes right through. I think. Well, maybe not. Where'd you go? It went through somewhere. I just don't know where. Let's see where you went through. And the nice thing about pre-recording this, I can edit some of this stuff out, so you don't have to waste 10 minutes of your time watching me trying to put this down through the hole. Come on. There we go. All right, we got it. Whew, that one was tough. Oh no, I put it backwards. You got to be kidding me. Just gonna kind of see if I can turn this around a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. All that work and I put it in backwards. Oh no, now I can't feed it down in there again. All right, let me get a different one. Maybe that's not bent as much. Oh my gosh, that was too funny. Only me. I can feel it and it's hitting up against the, I can feel it hitting up against the rope. Wowzers. I can feel it. Like I said, don't worry. I will edit this out so that you're not wasting your time. Alrighty, come on. See if I can move that glue out of the way a little bit. I feel like it's right there. I just cannot seem to get it to go through. Let's see. Get that through. Come on. No, this one does not want to go through. All right, let's see here. It should be right in this area because I'm going by where the other one is. Okay, there we go. So, nope. Oh my. Oh, it's right there. I see you. There we go. Come on, come on. No, you can't go sideways. You gotta go down through the hole. There we go. Ah, got you. Woo, that was a tough one. All right. That was work. All right, now this one here is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. And this is the second one here that we're going to put in. I think the problem that happens too is if the zip tie, if the tip of it gets bent a little bit, it kind of makes it go in whatever direction it's going to go in. I think I took the yucky one again. So you can kind of feel the board, kind of feel around, and then you can kind of feel it go through, and then it'll come through for you. Because you kind of can't use the eyesight, you got to kind of feel around for it there. Okay. Woo, we did it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, you're going to turn your wings so those seamed edges and stuff are on the bottom. So again, we're going to do this outer one first, and we're kind of pushing it more towards the top. Okay, so more towards the top of where the rope is. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to do this top one. Okay, look at that, much easier. Just like that. I'm going to take another one of our wings. And again, this one's going to go kind of closer to that one, because when we put this other one in, we just need a little gap up here because we have to attach the head and stuff. So that's going to leave you enough room to be able to do all of that. Okay, now we're going to put our second set of wings on. So this one is going to go in that other zip tie, just kind of right on top. Okay, clip that. So you can see it makes a little gap where you have the zip tie, but it's okay because we could put a little dab of glue and then hold it together. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So the tighter you pull it, the more it's going to make a gap on you. Okay. But what you can do is you just add a little bit of hot glue, and then you just push them together like that. Okay. And nobody will even know. Just see a little thing on the rope here. And then you, like I said, you just push it together and you won't even see those little gaps there. Okay. We're going to do our last two wings up top. So these are going into those inner holes there. And we'll have a set on each side. And we are on the home stretch, guys. Just like that. Okay, last set of wings. So this is going to go right in there. And like I said, where that you left this little gap here, this one's going to sit right down in there. Okay. And then you're going to pull that nice and tight. And we're going to do the other side. And you have that little space there. And this is going to fit right in there. And then you're just going to pull it tight. Okay. And there we go. So now we're going to be attaching the head and our ribbon, and we're going to be good to go. So we're going to take that little bib that we did, okay? And what I'm going to be doing is actually putting this in. I like, which side do I like? Oh, I like that side. So I'm going to take this and I'm actually feeding it down into this, okay? So I'm going to do it this way. So you want that nub facing up towards you. So if there's a side of the ribbon that you like better, you want to make sure that that's going to be on the bottom, because what we're doing is we're actually flipping this over like that. Okay. So you're sticking from the top down in, and then you're pulling just like that. Okay. And then we're going to be bringing this down. You're kind of poofing it out as if you were doing I'm going to do it this way for you so you could see where these zip ties are. This is actually covering that. So you want to kind of put your fingers in there and bring the loop down, and then you're going to put a little dab of glue right in that area, and then just hold that down. Okay, just kind of keep your finger in there, and you're just going to hold that in place for a moment, just till you can kind of get it to set. And I guess I just call it a bib, but it's really just kind of hiding that area. So you're still seeing the rope, which is going to help differentiate the body from the wings. Okay. And I just want to make sure that this dries first before we put up. So I would just kind of wait a moment, just kind of keep your finger there so that sets. So you could use, if you don't want to use 2 1.5s, you could use a 2.5 in the center here to mix it up. The 2.5 was too big for me for the bow tie, so I wanted it to be the bib and the bow tie, like the bow the same, so that's why I just kind of glued these together. Okay, so there's that. So I just like to show you. Okay, so that's just how that's going, and that's covering up those zip ties for you, but you're still able to see the rope for the waist. All right, so now we're going to attach the head. So what I did for this, okay, so again, you have the kind of, it doesn't really matter which way you put it, but I put that flatter end. So right where this hanger is, okay, this is going to go right on that hanger. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. So this is what it's going to look like on the back. Okay. And then what you're going to do, real easy, you're going to take some U-pins, okay, some floral U-pins, and you're going to go close to where the base is there and just stick that in. Just be careful depending on the length of these, because I did this the first time I did it. Make sure you're kind of angling these and not going straight down, because it actually came through the front and I poked my finger. So you kind of just want to give it a little bit of an angle, okay, like that. So I'm going to put 3 on each side. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of go up to the top here. And I'm putting them on this side here. And again, just add a little bit of an angle to it so you don't catch your fingers. And then I'm going to put 1 in the middle. Just like this. And sometimes you just have to get through the rope, or if there's a little pocket of glue there, you may have to just move it a little bit like that. And then I push them down, okay? And then what I do is, I don't want to do it on this one, but I took, because I want to get a proper color, so I'll probably get like a beige or a green. So I just cut out like a triangle, okay? And then I put hot glue on it and put it right over this, okay? Not to cover these holes, because we have to put the bow first. But after you put the bow in, that's what I did. And then this way it helped to keep those U-pins from popping out as well. And the hot glue sticks really nice to the nautical rope here. Okay, so this is what our head looks like. Okay. And then we're just going to add our bow tie. And then, oh, we have to do our halo too. So here's our bow. Okay, so it's all set to go. You still have those top 2 holes that are up there in the middle, and we're just going to feed these right through. And I usually do this with it hanging on my wall, so I can usually see those holes better. Okay, there we go. Okay. So our bow tie, you don't want to pull too tight, because you don't want it like sucked down in there. All right, just like that. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to tie this. Okay, and I'm just going to clip that little end, and then I can tuck this kind of right back in. and that'll be covered when we put the fabric on the end here anyways. And then what we're going to do to attach our halo is, again, you kind of want to see your placement. So if you kind of go right above this, okay, right there, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue first. Okay, so right above where the hanger is. And I'm going to stick that right on there. And I'm also going to take another U-pin, okay? And I'm going to put a couple U-pins in here as well. And that's going to help hold this in place. And again, make sure you do it on an angle. So kind of one towards the base and then one more towards the top. I'm just going to kind of give it a little push. Okay, just like that. And then there is your halo. And by adding the wire, it allows you to be able to play around with that halo, okay, and form it how you want it, more circular, more oval. You can kind of bring it down, bring it up, okay, just like that. And then you're going to want to just straighten out your bow, okay, make sure your loops are even, and then give your ribbons a nice smoothing out. Just like that. And you can leave them straight like this, or what I did is I rolled them. So I just took the edge here and I just kind of rolled it up and then just kind of pulled it out a little bit, and then kind of wherever it fell, that's where I just kind of kept it. And then I did the same for this side. And again, wherever it kind of fell, I just kind of left it there. And actually, let me pull that one out and do that one again. And it's okay if you mess up, you just take it, smooth it back out, and roll it up again. What I did is I took one out from the outer side and this one from the inner. So I just want to make sure I take it from the same side. Just got to find my little edge here and then just kind of pull it out. I'm not that great with ribbons. I'm still practicing, but okay. And then I just kind of, wherever they fall, I just kind of let them fall. All right. And then you're going to want to fluff out your loops on your bow there. And there she is. And I will take a nice picture. I'll put it up on the wall so that you guys can see it. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Like I said, I apologize if it went too fast, but the good thing about that is you'll be able to rewind and, watch the replay. And I will put a template up. Hopefully I'll be able to do that later today. If not, I'll definitely do it tomorrow. And if you want to order the boards, again, just go to my website, craftycreationsbycv.com. I'll put a link in there as well. All the mesh is from Unique in the Creek, and the bling ropes from Unique in the Creek. And I will put those links in there as well with my affiliate link. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is add a hanger to it, because we use the integrated hanger for our head. You're just basically going to take a zip tie, a larger zip tie, all right? And we're going to go through where the bow is, go in through there, and then you're going to go down. And you could put the hanger first before you add your bow is fine. I just almost forgot to tell you guys about that part. It's probably easier to put your hanger on first and then your bow, because then you don't have all this stuff kind of in your way. I'm going to just take this little part out here. Yeah, definitely easier, I think, if you do it before you put the bow on. There you go. You have your little hanger there. And then all you're going to do is that. Flip it. And I'm just going to retwist my bow tie here. And just make sure my bow is in the center. go. I'm just going to tie that, and then I can tuck those back in. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot that part. And then you just kind of tuck those back in the same hole there. Just like that. Okay, so then there's your hanger. And now we are finished. But you